Hello, scholars, and welcome to Lesson 3.2, Angle Relationships. So there are three types of angle pairs we're looking at in this lesson. The first kind are the vertical angles, which means they are opposite each other and they are also congruent. Vertical angles are always congruent to each other, meaning they are equal to each other. So what I mean by opposite or vertical would be this angle 1 and this angle 3. See how when I have two lines that intersect, they form four angles, and 1 and 3 are vertical or opposite, and angle 2 and 4 are vertical or opposite. So 1 and 3 are congruent, they are equal to each other, and 2 and 4 are congruent, they are equal to each other. Another kind of angle pairs would be complementary angles. So those are two angles that form a right angle and they add to 90 degrees. So any pair of complementary angles, here let's highlight that relationship as well. So see how complementary angles, they add to 90 degrees. And then our last kind of angle pair would be supplementary angles. And those are two angles that add to 180. We also call it linear pair. So a linear pair is a linear pair because they form a line, right? Linear line. But supplementary don't have to be next to each other, but linear pair, they are next to each other. So it's a little bit interchangeable, but there is a little bit of a difference too. All right, so let's look at example 1. The first three examples, there are no equations involved, just straight up numbers, and you can have a calculator if you need it. So it says find the measure of the missing angles. So this is, we're going to look at the vertical angle first. So if this is 107, the angle opposite or vertical to 107 is angle C. So this one is 100. Oops. This one is 107 as well. This one right here. So C is 107 degrees. And then B is a linear pair with the 107 right here and also the one with C. So this one, we're going to take 180 minus 107. So we're actually throwing in some supplementary in here. But so 180 minus 107, and we could use a calculator or we can just, do the old school way. So 10 minus 7 is 3. 7 minus 0 is 7. Those ones cancel out, so 73 degrees, or you can do some mental math there. But letter B, that angle B, is 73 degrees. So our vertical one is 107, and then our linear pair, the one next to it or adjacent to it, is 73 degrees. So now go ahead and pause the video and try it number 1. All right, so you should have gotten for letter B, that angle B there, 138 degrees. Again, what's opposite or what's just across from it, you can think of it that way, it's going to be the same. Congruent means equal, so it's 138. And then we're going to take 180 minus 138, right? We get 10 minus 8 is 2, 7 minus 3 is 4, so it's 42 degrees. So as long as they add to 180, that means you've done it correctly. So across, equal, next to, they add to 180. All right, so for example number 2, and we're going to see that again in the third example. But for example number 2, now this is a right angle. We know that because of this little symbol here. So because it's a right angle, we know that they're complementary. We know that they add to 90, which means we're going to subtract. This is actually our angle addition postulate in here, right? If I know the whole thing, if I know this whole thing is 90, and I know this part is 63, I can go ahead and subtract 90 minus 63 to give me, so 7, so 27 degrees, okay? So the whole thing is 90, right? This is 63, this part. And so this other part is 27 degrees. All right, hopefully that makes sense. I'm trying to draw it on the diagram as well, right? As long as your two numbers add to 90, you've done it correctly. So go ahead and pause and do the try it number 2. All right, so you should have, realized that again, this is complementary. It adds to 90. So I'm going to take 90 minus 40, and I get 50 degrees for that angle A there, that missing angle. All right, let's look at example number 3. And this is just like I said, we kind of did it already with this example up here. But you're going to sometimes just get a question just like this. So if it is just a straight line, right? A straight line forms a linear pair, which are supplementary, which means they add to 180. So I'm going to take 180 minus 31. And again, some mental math here, right? 180 minus 30 is 150. So 180 minus 31 is going to be 149. Or you could just say, okay, this is a 7, this is 10. 10 minus 1 is 9. 17 minus 3 is 14. Or you could use a calculator. Just like always, you can always grab a calculator if you need it. All right, go ahead and pause and try it number 3 on your own. All right, you should have 180 minus 120, and that gives you 60 degrees. All right, so now we've got the easy ones out the way. We're going to actually go ahead to the little bit of a longer one. So example number 4, we're going to set up an equation. So we know these are vertical angles, and we know that they are equal to each other. So we're going to say 78 is equal to b plus 6. So this one isn't too bad. It's just a one-step equation. We're going to draw our line down the equal sign. If I want to get b by itself, I say what's the opposite of plus 6? That is minus 6. So I can cancel those out. I'm left with b on the right. And 78 minus 6 is 72. So b is equal to 72. We don't have to put degrees because it's not 72 degrees. It's just 72 plus 6. The whole angle is actually still 78 degrees. So go ahead and pause the video and try it number 4. All right, so for number 4, again, they are vertical, so they're congruent. So 82 is equal to 7k plus 5. I'm going to draw my line down the equals. Now this is a two-step equation, so I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. Those cancel out. And 82 minus 5 is 77. The 7k is brought down. And my last step is divide both sides by 7. So k is equal to 11. And I am done. And let's go on to example number 5. So again, we have complementary angles this time because we know that because they form this, because of the symbol, we know that it's a right angle. So we know that they are complementary. So we're going to take our two expressions. So 2q minus 7 plus 4q plus 1. So I took this expression plus this expression, and that is going to be equal to 90. And now for this one, I do have to combine like terms. So 2q plus 4q is 6q. And then negative 7 plus 1 is negative 6. So minus 6 equals 90. Then I'm going to draw my line. And I'm going to do the opposite of minus 6, which is adding 6 to both sides. And I get 6q is equal to 96. Now my last step is to divide both sides by 6. That is a 6. And I get q is equal to 96 divided by 6 is 16. So q is equal to 16. Or sorry, those cancel out. All right, so go ahead and pause the video and try it number 5. All right, so try it number 5. Uses q's again. So again, these are going to be complementary angles. So they add to 90. So 2q minus 6 plus 3q minus 4 is equal to 90. I'm going to combine like terms and get 5q. Negative 6 minus 4 is negative 10. Then I draw my line. I'm going to add 10 to both sides to get 5q is equal to 100 and divide both sides by 5. 100 divided by 5 is 20. So q is equal to 20. All right, our last example is solve for the value of b. So our last one is, again, a linear pair, and they're supplementary, which means they add to 180. So I'm going to take 7b plus 2, that first expression, plus the 94 there, and that's all equal to 180. So I have to combine like terms. So if I have a variable and then two numbers, right, like up here, I had, I think, two variables, yeah, and two numbers in both of these. So whenever you have that, you have to combine like terms before you can draw your line. So I'm going to add 2 and 94. Those are my like terms to get 96. That's equal to 180. And now I can draw my line. The opposite of plus 96 is subtract 96. So we're going to cross those out, and 7b is left. And now 180 minus 96. So 180 minus 90 is 90. And then 6 more would bring me, to 84. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 7. And 84 divided by 7 is 12. And we are done with that one. So go ahead now and pause and try it by yourself. All right, so hopefully we got an answer. So we got 7q minus 8 plus 9q minus 4, right? Both of those are equal to 180. So I'm going to combine 7q and 9q to get 16q, and negative 8 minus 4 is negative 12, is equal to 180 still. Now I can draw my line. The opposite of minus 12 is plus 12, and I get 16q is equal to 192. Our last step is divide both sides by 16, and 192 divided by 16 is 12. All right. So good luck, scholars, on the practice. Again, let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you in the next lesson. Bye.